But yeah, they definitely I think are gonna have to look at that again. Now heading into Cobblestone though, it's gonna be NiP starting on the T side and Dignitas on the CT side. So let's see how it unfolds here. Single smoke, flash, and grenade on Exist. That's about all the setup that they have. So that could be anything. It could be a smoke for the doors heading into the middle, or it could just be for once they're up in the site. But quick flash in, and the Glock train is already on the way. MSL must be feeling lonesome back up in the corner, but actually Mega's going to pick up the first kill there. MSL goes down. Couldn't get help in time. It's Mikey later to pick up the kill, and Config having an awkward fight with Freiburg, who eventually goes down.
Too long, too long. This is taking far too long, and Config pretty much reigns supreme at the entrance to A long. He completely shuts down that flanking maneuver coming in from NiP, hoping to go up from underpass and also through A long, just collapse onto the site. And well, Dignitas were ready and waiting for it. The flash felt like it was too deep to start things off. Exist had the utility. It didn't even go into underpass. It went past into ramp. I mean, nobody was blinded by it, and then it was just all-out war basically from there on out. But if Dignitas had 3 players pretty much to start on that A site, NiP were just walking into the trap.
Yeah, that really is an incredibly simple execute coming out of NiP, and I don't mean that to sound sort of in a bad way. Sometimes that could be very, powerful. They're really quick setup, run down to the doors, pop the flash, and then go, So if Dignitas were somehow caught off guard, if they were somewhere else on the map, they would have been woefully out of position. And maybe they even could have been, but Config with that triple, obviously settling that round fairly quickly.
That doesn't bode well for NiP as well. I mean, considering Dignitas, they had all Kevlar. It was headshots or die. And then Dignitas, and then Config's just like, actually, I'll get 3 of them. No problem. Yeah, that's not a feel-good, warm and fuzzy moment for NiP. In fact, it's them just having to spend all of their money like Swedish students saying they have nothing left. It's all about Kevlar and pistols. And, well, Rubino right now, speaking of money, he picks up an extra $600 right there and 2 kills with that UMP.
Not at all bad. A couple of good refrags, though, and really open A bomb site. And the flank coming in from Freiburg. He doesn't have that much health, but if he can get the right timing in, who knows? Once the bomb goes down, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Dignitas, and Freiburg doing a very good job staying put right now. In fact, they're going to call for the full rotate back to the B bomb site. This is a massive risk, because if Freiburg goes down, if they check this corner, then the round is lost immediately. But, oh, what a headshot, Freiburg. Second kill of the round for him, and now it's a 2-on-3. He's crouching in behind the rock cage and making his way in. It's going to take down Freiburg, and now it becomes a problem again. 20 seconds. They can't really wait too long. They have to make this cross, and they don't have any smoke or anything.
Exactly, and it's just a nightmare, because without Freiburg there to hold the line at connector, then it turns into a ranged fight versus the UMP versus the FAMAS, and it's just not going to be good enough. Michaelele not going to find the headshots. They even saved the M4A1 on Dignitas' side, but there's no hesitation from Dignitas. They realize as soon as nobody's pushed onto A site and Freiburg's over on B, all they have to do is sit and wait, and NiP weren't able to make it there in time. Just such a long run distance. They literally ran all the way around the map. They were in A long, out on the A site, and ran all the way back to B. Risky maneuver from NiP, and unfortunately Freiburg, I mean, he did deliver 2 kills, but he wasn't able to hold out when it truly mattered.
Yeah, I think that he was mostly a problem because of the time left, and ooh, they're going to try and make their way through the smoke. MSL actually reloading as they're running through. That could have been dangerous, but looks like they're going to hang tight for a while here. Forest also going down, and just Freiburg to pick up a single kill then. I think if NiP had, a minute and 20 seconds when they made that run back, then Freiburg going down doesn't matter as much. Then they can sort of reconsider and, they have time to take a long fight or anything. With 20 seconds, it's just not possible. But NiP have... they did do a lot of damage in that round, which is really the important thing. And it's 3-0, yes, but now the Swedes have AKs, and we'll see if they could come up with something cool.
Yeah, they have a good number of flashes and smokes as well. A single Molotov on Freiburg, which is a little annoying when you're, approaching positions like Plateau. You kind of want a couple of them to really fully clear out all the nooks and crannies over there, for example, drop-down rim, etc. So they are somewhat limited due to the fact that they don't have many Molotovs, NiP, but they have the rifles. And so far, they decided to just go for the straight default kind of approach to the things, just spread out across the map, trying to figure out how Dignitas want to approach this key round. Are they going to go aggressive on us anywhere? So far, that's just not the case. Dignitas showing some real patience here, content to sit and wait. Patience and confidence. Because, I mean, that's also the thing. If you're unconfident, maybe you try and go for the BDP and you try and, push somewhere and get aggressive. But right now, I mean, Dignitas are just like, right, we're ready to wait for you to make the play.
Putting in a lot of grenades. They have control drop right now. Dignitas giving up a lot of space for NiP to work with. And look how far in they are. Rubino behind the rock, just not going to be able to do anything. Config up on the plateau. It's very fortunate he got that kill on Forest. Otherwise, things could have gone horribly wrong here. Exist going to be in a 1-on-3, and the bomb is not down. So NiP, they got so far in, but I think that double kill for KGB sort of ended up locking them down, and then the fact that Config could stay alive.
Exactly.
That meant they had to focus their attention towards main and plateau, and that was not fun.
I mean, Config is getting kills, and that's cool beans. I mean, you got 3 of them in the pistol, and then the 1 right there on plateau. But it's almost more important that he just stays alive in all these situations, because it's forcing NiP to have to deal with him, and then that creates space for his teammates to come in from connector and get the flank. Yeah, I mean, Config right now, just staying alive, he's doing so much work for Dignitas. 4-0 lead now for Dignitas on the CT side. They continue to just pound NiP into the ground. And, well, now, after this round, if they can weather it, Dignitas, without losing too many people, i.e. like that, Magic Boy, the economy is going to be in a very good place for Dignitas.
You just want to ask the question, why?
Yeah, why go for the repeak?
Yeah, why do it?
Oh, by the way, I'll drop you an M4 as well.
I mean, it's obviously a confidence thing, right? But still, it seems just a little bit silly. Now, Cajun's actually going to follow up on it, and then Forest will take down MSL pushing up. This is just not okay at all. And he gets tagged in the face, Cajun. Forest just on point here. Get right, going to catch him. First kill of the game for him. And Rubino and Config are left 2-on-4 here. A big giveaway, a big throwaway here for Dignitas.
Yeah, really painful to watch, actually. If you're a Dignitas fan, I mean, yes, NiP are playing this down to a T, but with the veterans that you have on NiP, you expect this from them. You know, they find one opening, and it's just going to spin out of control there. Because Dignitas keep feeding people in. They're into the blender, basically. NiP now 4v1 versus Rubino, who stands a pretty small chance of actually having anything to do in this round now. Bomb hasn't even been planted, and he just needs to run away and try and save, basically. So, name of the game is hold on to the rifle, and we'll see just how much money Dignitas have to work with in the next round, because it actually might be spotty. If they'd have won this round, they'd have been a pretty good spot, but now I'm wondering just how much they're going to have to work with going into the 6th round.
Yeah, and because they lost so many rifles in the 2nd round, you're right, it could be a really big issue for them here. So, I mean, Meg is picking up the first kill, great. Then he goes for the re-peek, and I'm wondering if because he got the first kill as a headshot, I even have to say he knew they had armor. He must have known, because otherwise he would have seen the blood going all over the place. So he should have had a pretty good read on the fact that they had armor. So it's not impossible to predict that they would have also had deagles or something else behind that. Just maybe not the most sensible choice. A really good bank on Cajun, yeah, 7,000, and that's probably going to save them out here. Otherwise, maybe it would have been an issue. So 4-1, but NiP, that's a huge round for them. That's
massive, because it should have been a 5-0 lead for Dignitas. More pressure on NiP to come up with something big in this round, and if Dignitas win this round, you know, that it's a totally different scenario. Now NiP have a little bit of room to breathe. They're like, right, now we've got a round on the board. Let's get rolling here. Michael Lele's got his AWP. They got donated a bunch of rifles, and so NiP saved even more money, so they have a little bit more leeway to work with. Not a huge fan of Exist leading the way with the bomb like this. Just small detail, but in general, when you're trying to clear out a particular portion of the map, leading with the bomb, ill-advised. But we'll see. I mean, Dignitas, they have 2 players set up, ready, and waiting.
Flash goes in. Meg is mid-air headshot on Exist. They do salvage the bomb. Freiburg gonna get the refrag in. MSL a little bit worried there. He's running out and shooting at the same time. That could get tricky, and Get Right coming in for the flank. He does take a little bit of damage, so health advantage for Dignitas, but it is a 3-on-3. And NiP still have Michael in the back lines here with the AWP. So if they get the bomb down out in the open, it can be very hard to defuse for Dignitas.
I don't see NiP managing to get out onto the site.
Cajun's position. He's so far forward. They know everything right now.
This is why they can have the 2 players sitting here on the A site like this. They have Config all the way at the back, and he's not going to make a peep. He's got to sit there and wait. He's got a 5.7. He doesn't have a rifle, so he can't challenge long range. But if he maintains the element of surprise, again, this just comes down to him staying alive. Rubino's job is to draw attention to himself. He's like, I'm the lone defender on the site, guys. Just go up and plant once you've killed me, or I wipe you all out. One or the other. But Config is now the insurance policy. Rubino is the one who could die. That's all right. But Config, he's in a position to completely destroy NiP, unless Get Right obviously works his way up into the one position that would spot him.
That's beautiful play, and they know where Rubino is as well, so they force him out right into the open arms of Michael. Bomb's going to go down with 9 seconds left. Grenade rains in if GetRight runs into it, but he's not going to do that. That would have been horrific. Now it's all on Cajun. He's got that AWP, so very tricky for him to find an opening frag on someone here. This is a big turnaround for NiP. This should have been a lost round already, but somehow they're still in it. Oh, they're going to take him down. Michael gone out of the round. One more click on GetRight, and he's going to be gone as well. Cajun up on the site, and he's in a good position. He does not have a kit right now. Is there anything on the ground anywhere? He's looking for GetRight, who snuck all the way up behind him almost. Whoa. There's the kill, and I'm not sure he's going to have the time. He has to make a run for it. If he had the kit, he would have won that round, but it's not going to be the case, and Dignitas gonna give up another round and make it 4-2 in favor of NiP.
What a sick shot from Cajun. The flick. For a second there, I thought that Config had a kit back there in the corner. For some reason, I was convinced that he had one, and Cajun would have time to pick one up. But that's But that's also GetRight. GetRight is just unreal. You would think, like, it feels like any other player would have just tried to challenge Rubino straight up, but instead GetRight works his way up to get eyes on the site and picks off Rubino's second player over there. It's just, like, got to put it to GetRight for getting the job done there, even winning the 1v1.
Look at this. Oh, Michael, not quite quick enough.
Okay, then. I mean, well, Config, if Config gets dialed in, I mean, he has definitely been stepping up his game for Dignitas. But if he gets dialed in here versus NiP, this could still get interesting. I mean, we're still very early on in the half. We can't really draw too many conclusions just yet. 4-2 Dignitas in the lead, but they are on pistols. Still, the hero op on Config. So we'll have to see if he can actually bring that into play, because NiP, they haven't fully committed to the B side, but they do have a man in drop, and the bomb is making its way over towards drop as well.
Actually all grouped up. It's just one ball of Dignitas players moving around in middle. They're going to be going back towards the A-bomb site, which we can tell by the mini-map is definitely not the right call at the moment. And, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world here. The worst thing that could happen is if Config goes down and B with the bomb, with the AWP, and they can't get it back, you know? So if they're all in A and they don't come A, then it's kind of a shame, but at the same time, they get to save the kit and the AWP, and that's still kind of acceptable for Dignitas here.
If we really want to go the stretch, you know, they deny, what, $1,200 to NiP?
Yeah.
As well, in the kills.
There's that too.
There's something to consider. Every small little bit matters. Every kill with a rifle like this is giving you $300. That's a smoke. That's an HE. So, still, I mean, Dignitas right now, they can just kind of lie in wait exactly as MSL is doing right now. If NiP get greedy and want to chase, I don't think that NiP should. It's definitely not worth the money to go after the kills, and it's not worth it to risk the rifles either. So make sure that you secure your way out, and it looks like NiP are leaning towards Plateau. Make sure you secure your way out, and then just save your rifles. It is absolutely not worth it to run and hunt right now.
Freiburg just making his way in. Could be giving up an AK here if he's not careful. He's going to get the one kill, and it will eventually go down. That's Config with the AWP, and good job for him hiding back here. It's not worth it to go and challenge, so only the AWP saves, but that's still pretty good for a 4-3 scoreline. That's 3 rounds in a row for NiP, and moving into the 8th round. We'll see. Even have some Cyrillic up there on the score counter. I like it.
I like it too. Yeah.
Gives us that perfect atmosphere.
It's trippy as well.
We're back to rounds. It was just. I prefer the other one. Maybe we could all learn something.
Looking at NiP right now, I mean, they are set up again in B. There's been very little, you know, bait and switch from NiP so far. It's been a lot of, you know, we're setting up for A, we're going A. We're setting up for B, we're going B. And so I'm wondering if Dignitas are going to start picking up on that fact.
Once again, it's NiP with the drop control, and just like when we saw Cobblestone earlier, it pretty much seems to be the flavor for the CT side to be a little bit more relaxed on this kind of defense here. GetRight hoping to find an angle, maybe spot someone shooting through. That would be great, but the bomb is all the way back here. Now they're actually going to be boosting on top of the smoke. It's very clever. If they could spot someone here, that would be a perfect way to get opened into a bomb site. I'm not sure they're going to realize that Rubino is, they see GetRight kind of spotting for it, but it's so hard to see someone being here early on.
All right, it's such a nasty spot, and it forces you into that 50-50 look left or right when you come out through the doors. And we'll see if Rubino, he's going to be facing 2. So in an ideal situation, even if NiP lose 1 in this sort of scenario, they trade frag. And Freiburg, not even going to happen. He gets the kill straight off the bat. Well done. But Cajun B steps in with the AWP. 2 kills for him. And now NiP, they have to try and cross this open ground. You can see Cajun, he's in such a powerful position, drops the bomb carrier out in the open. And now Michaelele has to try and walk, and he just walks into his death. Cajun, let's get the ace. You have every opportunity. Oh, magic!
He's gonna steal it. Cajun didn't get the shot, so he could have had it, but still a quad kill's pretty damn good. 10 and 2 here for Cajun B, and he was on fire yesterday. Definitely playing to the similar level here today. NiP, they could buy, and they will, and I'm glad that they did. I think it's worth it. I have no idea why Rubino didn't get that kill, first of all. Like, that's the most ridiculous part, probably, that round. That's a must-win situation.
That's that nightmare when your opponent isn't facing you.
Yeah.
For some reason, you just can't. Alex mentioned this on the desk earlier. You know, the NiP smokes. This is one of NiP's patented strats. They get those smokes down from T-spawn or from the other side of A ramp. And then it is going to be the B push eventually. And GetRight's going to take a bullet to the face.
Yeah, he even had Config turning around. Cajun picking up Exist right through the box and through the smoke. Very impressive. And it's going to be a complete cleanup here. Dignitas, this is scary if you're NiP. You're out of money, you're not getting the bomb plants down, and they seem incredibly well prepared for the defense over at B here. I wonder if they should think about going somewhere else, maybe.
Dig are playing their game right now. That's for sure. They're starting to get into their rhythm. I mean, one thing that we have to remind people of is that Threat isn't here to call the shots. This is a tournament where the in-game leader can be the coach. EPICENTER are not following the new Valve ruling. And so if Threat had been here, perhaps he would have been the one calling the shots. But Exist right now is currently calling it with Threat kind of giving like analyst support before and after matches. Remotely, obviously. He's not here. So still wondering right now if Exist is kind of, you know, trying to figure out a solution here to try and crack open this Dignitas defense.
Bit of a weird fight. MSL having much more success against GetRight. Still, you can't expect too much out of this one. Exist has a deagle, but he's been in the back lines all along. I sort of wish he would have been the one to carry the charge here. It will be a triple for Megas at the end of it, and a 7-3 scoreline. Once again, we're seeing just a very powerful CT side. All tournament, it's been like this. The CT sides have been way better, it seems, than the T sides. On Cobblestone, that is.
You're right. You're right. I mean, we have seen. I mean, SK comes to mind as the one to really struggle on T side Cobble, which was fascinating to watch. But I mean, right now, NiP. I'm wondering if the answer is a turn of speed. But Dignitas, they're banking hard on an A push right now, and this could be perfect. NiP, they're currently gathered up outside of A long again. They want to try and get over here towards this site. And again, all 5 members here. Nobody making noise over on B. Nobody making Dignitas second-guess their setup. Dignitas can hold this for quite some time and Exist with that flash. There's the shot. Cajun misses it, but he's got riflers there to support him.
Oh, they've already seen 2. There's no way they could predict that there's a guy boosted up in the corner here. This never happens. They're going to get the 1 kill in. Forrest does turn around, but that's so hard to see coming. And Forrest following up on Cajun. And Freiburg with the kill at MSL. How are Dignitas losing this? Now it's a 2-on-2. Rubino and Config are still left here, but NiP have somehow bought their way back into it. Freiburg is a little bit low, admittedly, and Forrest looking for a 3rd kill of the round for himself. He's got them boxed in behind the truck, but they've lost Freiburg. Forrest coming in. He gets 1, turns around, but he can't get the headshot on Rubino, and Dignitas barely going to win that round. But I've got to say this again. I've got to reiterate. When you see 2 people running back from long like that, there is pretty much no way that someone's going to be boosted in that corner. That will almost never happen. So I can't blame NiP for not checking it. They just felt like, that's it. We're going to chase them down.
You know what that felt like? It felt like a reflex flick from Forrest, actually. Because
yeah.
At that point, it's just reflexes. You're not even stopping to think about it. GetRight's dying. You've cleared everything out but the boost, and Forrest just instantly flicks over, and you know it's like his hands acting before he can actually react, process it.
Yeah, it was very, very quick. It was a really good shot from Forrest, and
it was a big round from Forrest. 3 kills from him, and nearly an ace, or not an ace clutch, but a quad kill clutch. That would have been a huge play, and that would have been just the ticket for NiP. That would have got them fired up. That would have definitely thrown Dignitas for a loop. I mean, Dignitas barely winning it. That's good, but they should be feeling a little shaken. Now some variety. An ace split coming in from NiP. It's not just the straight brute force tactic. They're trying to actually get clever here.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. It just gets shut down in that middle area. It's too many people there. And obviously now it's just a shooting gallery into the middle. Forest, not a chance in hell either. Gonna get cleaned up for a 9-3 scoreline. Dignitas just running away with this first half entirely. And look at the scoreboard as well. 14-4 on Magisk and Cajun on 12-3, I think. It's very impressive.
I'm wondering right now, I'm really wondering. Because it's just, it feels like NiP are deflated. Just completely deflated at this point. And this is the point where NiP should be tapping out and taking a pause, a timeout, just to try and at least catch their breath, because they're just, it feels to me like they're just, they no rhyme or reason, right? They're kind of just calling, like, call this, go, call this, go, call this, and they just keep running into the wall expecting it to break. It's down to individual plays like this one here to make the difference. And Forest, I mean, we saw him go ham 2 rounds ago. That's a great opening now for NiP to take advantage of. Config is down, and Config has been hitting shots.
Absolutely. Cajun has taken up this position, and they're even rotating MSL in. And NiP have a lot of time to work with. If they somehow realize this is happening, then I guess they're going to go back to the A-bomb side, just because there's almost no defense being put up there right now. Surprised that Cajun isn't trying a little bit more to get some information here. If he could peek down and see nobody, that would be some good info to work off of.
This pretty much seals it. I think Magic is going to go ahead and take a peek at A long. If he doesn't see anybody, he should start rotating over immediately. Exist pushing out on the plateau is certainly going to be some kind of indicator here. Rubino's crouched close below plateau. And so Get Right at drop making some noise, but Rubino now knows, obviously, that there are 2 players up here on plateau, and he's going to be waiting for the opening. And there it is. Takes down Forest, and that opens it up for Cajun B to take his peek. Finds Exist. MSL removes Freiburg. MSL dominates Get Right, and it's down to Michaelele in a 1v2.
Unbelievable. Dignitas fighting the way back in the round. Michaelele, definitely an explosive player when it really comes down to it. Puts the bomb down at 22 seconds left, and now he's going to try and fall back to a bit more safety, looking for the kill on 1. He's just crouching behind this wall. MSL is down, and now Magisk right on the other side. And Michaelele is a little bit low on health, but he gets the headshot anyway, and that's a triple kill right to the clutch. And NiP winning a massive round that they really needed. Big plays coming out of Michaelele.
By the skin of their teeth, what clever positioning from him playing peekaboo like that. 2 players there for Dignitas. You would think that they're going to get the kill 100%. Even if they lose one, should be enough for the second player to get that kill. But Michaelele finds a way. And, well, I mean, okay, so they win that round, but to me that still speaks of a bit of a difficult situation for NiP, because they kind of won it off of just Forest with an initial pick that you're going to struggle to get every time, and then just balls out play from Michaelele. Can you count on that every time? Not really. They have not yet figured out how to clinch these last 2 rounds here in the half and give them a sort of workable scoreline going into the second.
Yeah, I mean, what you're noticing as well is that there aren't many kills that NiP get that aren't really quickly traded by Dignitas. So it's not like NiP could just build up like a good 3 versus 5 lead easily. They keep getting refragged all the time. And you can see their positioning. Just look at MSL and Magisk in the middle here, how they are in like that 1-2 punch situation. They could really easily get a refrag one way or the other. So that's just I mean, it's really basic Counter-Strike, but it works. It worked for Hellraisers too.
That's the ticket. It's the ticket. And we are going to see NiP change up a little bit. They brought that bomb over to B halls early on in the round. That usually indicates an intent to go towards B. And now they might just leave Get Right alone in his lurk role, let this man shine, one of the best lurkers in the world, and start working their way back over towards A. MSL is very close. He's in a position where he's going to be able to hear steps around A long, however. So if NiP are stomping around too much, MSL might catch up on that.
Yeah, but MSL has lost his backup, though. Magisk is really far away. He wanted to head back towards the B-bomb site, so could still be a good position for MSL, but it's really scary right now. Forest is going to be going down there. That's a big opening kill. Now he's sandwiched in, but he could buy time. They only have 19 seconds. Yeah, this is great job, MSL. Just put the smoke up and wait. Let them spend the time. They get right over in the middle. It's going to run into Rubino and goes down. MSL with a kill as well. Again, really, really good play coming out of the Danish captain here, and it's going to be Michaelele alone and far away from the bomb with 2 seconds. That was very smart. He even had the Molotov. That's it. When you look, if there's a minute left and he's sandwiched in there, then he has to go and fight. Like it's very hard for him to do anything else. But with 20 seconds, yeah, he should Molotov and smoke and just wait. Let them spend time. And NiP didn't have the time to do that.
Yeah, some excellent awareness of the clock there from MSL. But that's what you'd expect from MSL. Such a smart player, the in-game leader for Dignitas, calling the shots. And so now, I mean, yeah, NiP once again find themselves in dire straits, seeing as how Michael held on to the op, but yeah, it's pistols, Kevlar across the board for the rest of NiP. Hardly any nades to speak of.
That was a little close for Config there. Almost running into the AWP shot. Just trading bullets through the smoke. No one able to see a single thing, but NiP in a lot of trouble here. There's a 15th round, and it's 10-4 right now. They need so much more. At least they have the AWP on Michael, but that's about it here. So very thin buy coming out of NiP.
And a listlessness here still for NiP. This feeling of the impression that I'm getting is that they're just not sure what they want to do at all. They're kind of feeling it out right now, and it does look like they're going to drift their way back over towards A. MSL once again holding over here towards A long. Freiburg and Forrest waiting around the corner, hoping for him to get impatient. And Michael, there we go. There's the opening. Takes down Cajun B, weakens the defense, but Magic Boy holding close, trying to bait the shot out from Michael. He's going to get it. Michael is stuck in the corner, and MSL in the meantime gets a double spray, and that pretty much seals it. 11-4 at the end of the first half. Dignitas, they lay waste. NiP, they're going to be wondering, well, what happened?
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I mean, they won 3 rounds in a row at some point. Was it 4 in a row? No, 3 in a row, and then one a little bit later on. 17 on MSL and Magic Boy. When is the last time we've seen MSL top fragging on Dignitas? That doesn't happen very often. In fact, it's one of the main points of criticism that people have about MSL in general is that, you know, is he sort of on point with the frags, right?
Well, take, for example, the matches that we got to cast yesterday of Dignitas. I mean, he was sitting single digits while the rest of his teammates were in the high teens.
And they were winning that match as well. So,
but it shows a machine that's healthy, right? That's working correctly. Doesn't need to be taken into the shop. Right now, you know, they're fine-tuning this beast to win the race. And so MSL, I think he has to be very happy right now with how things are progressing. Certainly getting 11 rounds on CT side Cobble.
That is very impressive. Definitely a good job on them. Get Right and Existo on 3 kills each is on the other end of the scale, not really good enough for playing 15 rounds of Counter-Strike. If you get a kill every 5th round, you know your team's going to be upset.
Stumped, I think, is the word right now.
You gotta stop saying that. It's hard for me not to continue to meme on that. I can't help it. Basically, we're moving into the 16th round, and Dignitas are just in a massive lead right now. Michael with a great headshot. He's been doing a lot of work for NiP so far. Looking for more, but Mega's going to take him down. Just takes that battle straight up, and he even had the P250. Otherwise, that might not have been a kill that range with the Glock. So, can they get the bomb down over at the B bomb side? They definitely can here. Dignitas pulling NiP just way over at the A side. What a grotesque fake coming out.
Excellent work from NiP. Don't waste a second. Get onto the B side right now. They know that there are players who are still rotating over from the A site. If they could just find the kills on the guys holding B, they would have the advantage. NiP. Forrest is going to bring it back with a kill on Cajun, and Get Right takes down Rubino. Now to deal with Config and Magus Boy. And Config spotted out on Plateau. Excellent work from NiP. They've done the job, although what a shot from Magic. He's got the P250. He's in Raid Boss mode. He's got Kevlar as well, but Get Right doesn't care when he hits the headshots.
That
just
is
enough time.
A horrifying round for NiP. That's so scary. And they were so panicked at the end that the one thing they couldn't remember how to do really was to put Get Right on defuse duty and everyone else sort of covering him. So Get Right was the one with the kit running all over the place. If he went down somewhere else and the kit dropped there, ooh, that would have been bad. I'm shocked that NiP won that round. That's a really good retake. Very, very impressive because Dignitas in pretty much every way almost outplayed them that round. That was a really, really great strat.
I would say that was a very even round. Dignitas, I think, They did outplay him initially, but then NiP pulled a fast one and were like, snap decision, get in there fast, and did not allow for Dignitas to reestablish control of the B site. Forrest, just farming right now. 2 kills for him. Still drops his gun, but it looks like his teammates are going to be able to maintain control of the situation. Although, as I say that, Magic is just bringing it back. 2 kills, 3 kills for him, and he's still got the bomb. Now with the M4, and they're going to run right in on him. Oh, the timing. He was nearly in position. Freiburg is insane to go through the smoke like that.
Yeah, if he didn't have a grenade in his hand there, then Freiburg would be out of this world. That would have been a quad kill for Magus, no doubt.
And a potential ace clutch with an M4 and HE. I mean, plenty of tools.
It's shocking, and it's also very bad news for NiP because they just lost a lot of rifles that round that they didn't need to. And now Dignitas actually finally have AKs. Now, right now, NiP need to wake up, because if Dignitas is going to continue to play like this with rifles, then it's very bad news for them. But they are getting completely destroyed in this round. Magus can config, bring it back a little bit, but Magus gone 3 health, and Molotov are not going to land on the right side, and even in the smoke, so doesn't really matter. But still a 2-on-3 that NiP should win pretty much 100% of the time.
I feel like watching that, it feels like there were a number of gambles at play there for Dignitas. And that mainly it hinged on NiP being out of position, NiP focusing on A long. Or, what a shot from Config. friberg doesn't know what hit him. 2-on-2, clutch situation now, and Dignitas could be able to work their way out onto the site. Get Right is going for the hop and jump. He's been spotted, though. Molotov's going to force him out, but Exist with the flank on Config. Perfect timing. And that ends it. Maybe he only had like the 1 HP.
I mean, the most shocking thing about that as well is that Get Right put a shot right through the smoke in front of Config before he got that kill, so they're so close. But doesn't really work out, and a good round for NiP. They saved 2 people. I think they should have been able to save the AWP as well with a little bit of luck. So
yeah, exactly.
Just starting to stabilize a bit here.
It's like 2 things. I think.
Oh, they didn't.
Oh, well, Dignitas, like I think they're gambling on the AWP being over at Plateau. And then they're gambling on NiP focusing on A long instead of underpass and just being able to barrel through and take somebody out. But sometimes you gamble, and when you're 11-4, you start the half 11-4. I mean, I guess you feel like you have a little bit of leeway to work with. Get Right, though, having a field day! Double kill, nearly triple.
I swear it looked like for a minute he wanted to knife whoever was coming through the window there. Sort of like that exists, yes, indeed. 11-8 all of a sudden. And NiP starting to wake up a little bit here on the second half. That's definitely good news. Dignitas, they need to maybe... I think if they lose this round, they should consider that tactical timeout.
I agree.
Because they've been on such a good run already. There's no reason to throw away too much momentum here to NiP pulling some rounds together.
And especially if you lose this round, because this is a full buy versus a full buy. All of the tools necessary. So calm down, deep breath, and focus on your game. And right now, Dignitas, the main focus appears to be a little bit of pressure over here at A long. That smoke going down, blocking off the entrance to A long is definitely going to raise some alarms with Dignitas. It obviously stops them flat and forces 2 HEs out of them just to make sure that nobody can hide on the other side of it without taking any damage.
So 3 men over by the B-bomb site right now for NiP, and Dignitas so defensive right now. Gonna slowly take over control of long. We're not gonna run into any NiP members, but they've got coverage in middle. They got coverage over by the B holes. They're really making sure that NiP can't sneak in anywhere. And that's, I think that's a smart move from them.
Quick, thorough play, exactly. And now that they're canvassing out the halls towards Plateau, do they make any noise over towards Plateau? I mean, they can try and wrap, and it looks like it might be a delayed push into drop, with some kind of delayed push into connector here as the rest of Dignitas go barreling up ramp towards that site. Forrest is sitting at the bomb site itself, though, and he's going to be that first contact. And there's the kill. MSL dropped, and Forrest just going ham.
Cajun getting a kill and Config helping out, but he's also alone now. 30 seconds for a 1-on-3. This is a very interesting strat that we just saw coming out of Dignitas. I can't remember I've seen that really ever before. He's looking for Get Right. I think the game is kind of up for Config because the bomb's on the other side here. He could try his very best, but shouldn't be possible for him to make his way through. Does try and spray, actually gets the kill on friberg. That's annoying, but not good enough. It will be NiP to pick it up. Basically, what they managed to do is build a wall from the slope onto the truck, and then they could run up in what they thought was relative safety. They didn't realize that Forrest was up on the back of the bomb side. You could sort of see over the smoke there. But that's just a very clever idea, especially because half the other push is coming in from the drop. So they're sort of all converging on that. I actually really love that. I want to see that from a bird's eye view later on.
Well, what I'm really fascinated by is the fact of like the disjointed timings of it. They hadn't quite got drop control and even started to apply pressure to connector before the push began on A. Still, I mean, this is just going to be the half buy kind of Tech 9 Kevlar, spend a little money, see if you can do some damage to NiP in this round for Dignitas. It's about the next round here for the Danes. And so this time it's going to be that B-side push out onto Plateau with the Tech 9, that explosive power, that instant headshot. They're trying to bring it to the 4, but it just turns into a blender here. No contest. Dignitas got slapped, and now we go into the 22nd round. And Dignitas have yet to pick up a round in the second half, Anders. That does not bode well.
It definitely does not. They're struggling nearly as much as NiP were, maybe even more than NiP were on the T side. So we'll see if it's it's going to get a little bit better here. 10-11. Still no tactical timeout being pulled out of the Dignitas team. You've got to wonder about that as well. Double up for NiP, and Cajun does have his on the other side, but they need some sort of strong opening here.
Peek? A pick? That would certainly help.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't double up. I'm just making things up. I do that sometimes.
That's fun.
Maybe I was just really, really wishing that it was.
Exercise your imagination. Astralis will win the major. Astralis will win the major. No. Oh, wrong game, sorry.
They will. Don't worry. It's already been decided. A little bit of a boost going on in drop right now. And wondering, yeah, Getright going to pick up a kill on Magisk again. A good start for NiP. They wait a little bit, and you can tell Dignitas are trying to be defensive about it. They are sort of actually trying to prevent what just happened, but not able to.
This patience here being shown by NiP. This is a textbook approach, essentially, from NiP at this point. They get that opening kill, and then they fall to defensive positions on the sites where they'll be able to back each other up. Cajun B, however, hunting for that boost, and there's the kill on Exist. Freiburg does not manage to trade. What is going on? Cajun with the second kill. And that opens it all up for Dignitas. They've taken some damage, but they should be able to work with this. Freiburg is stuck.
Yeah, they just need to wait. Forrest's coming in with the flank. So Dignitas, they are putting themselves in a very bad spot. Mike Lily going down. It might not matter. Forrest coming in from behind. He's going to get the kill, but Freiburg goes down. And somehow it still works out in favor of Dignitas. What a crazy round. Even if it was a 2-on-3, then it still looked like they had a chance with Forrest coming in with the flank, but not quite. Now, he's going to have to clutch it alone. He's already got the one kill here, and the bomb is down in front of him. He's got a kit this time, looking for a way out. He really wants to see if there's anyone lurking behind him there, which could have been a real option. Those wall banks not connecting on Rubino, who is hiding back there, but Forrest has no way of knowing that, and I think he's simply out of time. He's going to go for a bit of a peek, but since the headshots aren't connecting, I feel like he should just try and save this AK. Config going to take him out for a triple, and Dignitas finally winning a round here on the T side.
Yeah, solid work from Dignitas as well. And you can see, you're right, that NiP, they were just banking on being able to stay alive long enough for Forrest to ruin Dignitas' day. But Dignitas, at the same time, were also working. They had that flank coming in on drop. Getright, no impact. He gets picked off, and then that opens up the sandwich possibility there that NiP have to worry about. And Freiburg does not live to save Forrest. So Dignitas still 12-10. They finally broke the NiP streak. So they have that going for them. Now the question is whether they can chain rounds together. It's going to be essential here at breaking NiP's economy and really giving them a shot at picking up this first map.
Great work from Cajun, obviously, with that kind of an entry as well.
You're right,
it's very hard to deal with if you're an NiP. I mean, it's he spots a bit of a, I think, a foot there. No, but it's a consequence of NiP holding so far back. When they aren't on plateau, that allows for Cajun to get that far in. Now, Conflict's going to be going down to Forest. A very important early kill. If they reset Dignitas here, then NiP are in prime position to maybe even take the lead.
I agree. Exactly. This is one of those key rounds where it'll break your economy. You'll be in a position where you have to half buy, and that's real nasty for either of these teams. They're getting pretty close to the finish line here. And while Dignitas, after that initial fight, I mean, Config got picked off an underpass by Forrest, who was playing danger. And so Dignitas decided to rotate that bomb over there. They're going to have 3 players ready to go out onto A, and it's going to be Magisk Boy's job, basically, to try and create a distraction over here on B. Well, I mean, it may not even be necessary. I mean, look at this. 4 players here from NiP, a bit of the gamble. They're thinking that Dignitas are going to fully commit to the B site. All this off of no information. Nobody's peeking plateau. They have nothing in drop. At some point, somebody's going to have to peek here. Exist has to peek on plateau. Now the rotation comes out from NiP. They realize it, but Dignitas are already streaming out onto the A site.
Yeah, they are, and if they have grenades, they can maybe even lock out the defense here, but they're not going to be able to. Getright gets a kill, Freiburg might kill Ellie as well, and suddenly it's just Magisk Boy left, 1 versus 4. So when Dignitas get that close in, they need grenades to make sure that people can't come in from the balcony and the doorway. Otherwise, what's the point, really? I mean, if you don't do that, then you're actually in a terrible position running onto the bomb site. So a little bit disappointed in that. If they had put down those grenades, then Michael Ellie would have been alone, and I think that was the key issue.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised, to say the least. And Dignitas, I mean, you can see the clear frustration. I mean, Cajun B gets frustrated if his coffee isn't warm enough in the morning. So, I mean, no surprise to see him shaking his head. But this isn't looking too hot now for Dignitas, as you guys can see. Magus Boy with the AK tries to lead the charge. He's going to get completely shut down by Get Right, who's still following up. Another kill for him on MSL. That sets it up. The 1-2 combination coming in. Freiberg with 2 kills of his own. And that's just a very nice and neat anti-eco hold for NiP. Dignitas kind of throwing caution to the wind, hoping to overwhelm the defense. Just not meant to be this time. Tied up 12-12. And well, after that round, now it's on Dignitas, but still no tactical timeout, Anders. Still no tactical timeout, and that's just a little worrisome.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. 12-12. Unbelievable show of strength from NiP here in the second half. You'd think they would be mentally just a little bit shook from losing 11-4 in the first half, but they weren't. They managed to bring it back here. Config going to be charging on in. Jumping and shooting maybe not the best idea. Mikelele a bit out in the open, but he does have some good backup here. Exist has gone down, but Freiberg gets an important refrag, and now they're going to bring the bomb back towards the hallways. But NiP kind of ready for it.
Config has to make some noise here. He has to make sure that these guys stay fixed on A. Because now it's a 2-2 sort of scenario here for NiP, and with 3 players, all of them bearing rifles for Dignitas going towards B. That can get real nasty real fast for the B defense. And already, I mean, you're going to have Freiberg just lurking in the corner on Plateau. He's going to give himself an out. He isn't fully committed to it. And as they come jumping through the smoke, they decide to jump through the smoke right into Freiberg, spraying him down. And that's pretty much it. With a minute on the clock, Dignitas, and now Magus Boy is roasting to death.
Yeah, he wanted that bomb and trying to see if he can get on here. I mean, he's going to get the bomb plant. That's something, but ultimately not really good enough, and he can't really get out of this position. 8 health and just way too many members of NiP on the other side. Gonna do the best that he can, ends up going down. I think the plan here for Dignitas, it's kind of a clever plan, you know, as long as there are 2 people on A and 2 people on B. If they put 3 on B, then they have the man advantage going into that. And if the people on A start rotating over, then Config is there to shoot them in the back. So, I mean, that would have been good. They just needed to not all die to Freiberg. Then the plan would have been great.
I wonder, with 55 seconds left, is it worth it jumping through smoke?
Yeah, probably not. You're right. I mean, if there was 15 seconds, they would have probably had to do it, right? But with that much time left, I would say no.
I mean, we're pretty far from NA right now, Anders. Just saying. Like, this is
as far as you can almost get.
Just feels just a tad silly. I suppose the one thing is that maybe they're worried about the smoke clearing on A site and Config getting, or NiP finding out there's nobody on A. Config is over there alone, so they feel like we have to make the play on B.
I feel like that should play into their plan. They should want NiP to rotate out of A because the Config is there to shoot them in the back. You know, they should actually actively want them to try and move out of there.
Ooh, clever.
When he's that far up, like he's all the way behind the wooden wall there, that's perfect. So a Deagle round a little bit coming out of Dignitas, a single AK here already going to fall, but yeah, just looks like NiP are very comfortable right now and headed for a victory on Cobblestone. There's no denying it.
Yeah, they're primed and ready. They're going to be up on 14 rounds, and Dignitas still struggling to get bomb plants, and so without the bomb plants, and Magus Boy got the bomb plant before the round of Eco, and so they will have a significant amount of money. No bomb plant in the last round, but still. They've lost quite a few rounds in a row now.
Yeah, speaking of Magus, he's got 27 kills, so definitely not bad. Freiberg at 24, which is exciting. So it's always good news when Freiberg is playing well, I think, on NiP.
I mean, Get Right certainly woken up here on the CT side. I mean, what did he end the first half at 3 kills, and he's up to 14 now, so he's definitely found his form. But now, I mean, this is where Dignitas decided to change it up. Let's go B and grouped, no subtlety. No flankers, nobody making any noise.
NiP, no. They have such a good read on this. They even have Mikelele fairly close by. This is a very bad round for Dignitas to be doing this in. Exist shooting a little bit at the teammate, but Freiberg going to help out. Followed up with a double kill there. And Forrest even with a shot on Cajun B. So this is all crumbling. The whole NiP team is still in effect on this bomb site, and there's just no way through MSL with the bomb in a 1-on-3. That was just a solid defense put out of NiP. That was like they almost tailored that round to what Dignitas were doing.
That was the perfect setup to deal with it. Freiberg came through big again. 2 kills from him. He drops Rubino, who leads the way, and then does significant damage. Picks up another kill and then significant damage to a third. I mean, that's pretty much like clinching it for NiP at that point. If anybody else follows through, I mean, that's what we saw. Dignitas, easy pickings after that. MSL has managed to thread the needle, though, and he's actually going to be able to sneak his way up onto the A site and get a bomb plant. Get Right holding to underpass. but the timing is off for Get Right. He expects MSL to be working his way through there, but MSL pulled a fast one. So,
I mean, this is all good fun, and I don't want to take anything from MSL, but I have a lot of confidence that he could do this 1v3. If he's one of the sickest clutches, if he could actually manage it. They are somewhat far away, but he is incredibly boxed in. And the Molotov is already out, and they have no more grenades left on the NiP. He's going to get shot in the side there. I mean, you can't even blame himself for any of that. It's just, you know, what are you supposed to do when you're on that bomb site? It's going to be 15-12 here. Dignitas in a world of trouble. But they do get the bomb plant, which is good news.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing. 5 rounds loss row, and then bomb plant with some money left over from the round before means, again, they have all the money to have the nades, but it's almost like I just want to see them go for a straight rush. Just rush somewhere, I don't know, because right now, like, the executes are not working for them. They keep running into a brick wall. It's almost as if you want to just see some chaos out of Dignitas and hope that NiP, you know, that they'll come out ahead once the dust settles.
Yeah, but that's so hard to do when NiP are playing this passively. I think that's the problem. NiP are playing very, very defensively. So, and Dignitas, if they rush anywhere, if they try and, you know, just run in, there's a good chance they will be, the defense sort of works for that. Good shot for Mikey Lily, and then they fall back, leaving one guy. Oh, Config through the smoke, random spray, and he picks up Mikey Lily, and that's pretty good news.
Very nice opener. Bit of a risk taken there by Config, considering he was carrying the bomb, but still gets the job done. And that leaves Get Right in a bit of a predicament. He's kind of stuck in underpass here, where he might get run in on. I mean, Megas Boy is right on the other side of it. He's got Rubino to back him. Dignitas, it looked like they were trying to think about going towards B for a moment, but now with 2 kills, that pretty much clinches it for him. They're going to start making their way up onto this A site, and it's going to be down to Forrest. He's got his AWP, so if he can start landing some shots as they try and cross out into the open, that would be huge, but he walks right into a magnificent headshot from MSL. And Dignitas, they'll keep it alive 1 round longer unless NiP can come up with some magical play here.
Existent Freiburg left 2-on-3 right now. And this one could be for the map. They're going to try and go for the boost on the other side of the smoke here, but not really in position to see anybody. And Dignitas have no real reason to go and look too much. They need to wait until the 2 NiP players try and actually go for the retake. Here's Megas Boy going down, Exist with a shot on him. Then it's a 2-on-2. They cover the counter boost, and Config gonna pick up the kill, and that puts Freiburg in a really weird position. He knows that one person is there. He even knows what Config is, and one bullet here would actually seal the deal. He's gonna go for it. Oh my god, Freiburg clutching it with a double kill, and that's gonna be GG. 16-12 in favor of NiP. Dignitas winning 11 rounds on their T side and on CT side, and 1 round on their T side. It's not acceptable, Semler.
I think NiP look as confused as we feel right now, bro. Like, look at this. They don't even...